Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Season 1, Episode 9. It's called Chapter 9, The Returned Man. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. That's what I stumbled on. Full spoilers.
we take 2 days off recording and you forget everything.
Look, give me peace, right? Give me peace. Okay, so the first thing I'll say about this episode is that you've been wanting for a while for some consequences to Sabrina being frivolous with her magic and thinking she can get away with anything. I feel like the show couldn't have handed you a better set of consequences than this episode.
It's fair. Can't argue with that.
Not only did it go bad, not only is not only is Tommy not quite Tommy. The result of this, where she has to accept that it can't work, and Harvey actually makes the choice to kill him himself, which is something we know Harvey has a problem with in general. But on top of that, he has disdain for Sabrina because she did this in the first place, and then but doesn't want her to be the one who kills him.
Yeah.
Out of because he's still a Boy Scout. What do you want from him? That's who he is. But he's going to go do it, and it's just this depressing thing. And then not only that, so she thinks she's got a way out for a while, right? Because he's not himself, he's not speaking, he's not eating, and she's got this idea. Oh, his soul's not here. I just have to go get his soul. It's in limbo.
It's just that, yeah.
Just that simple. Wait a minute, but that's mortal limbo. You're a witch. No, I'm half mortal, you see, so I can go into the mortal limbo. Easy peasy.
Because of course.
So everyone kind of like doesn't want to help her. Obviously Ambrose finds out first, and Hilda finds out, and then eventually Zelda finds out. Zelda finds out when Blackwood finds out, actually, because Dorcas, so I say? Or is it the other one?
Might be the other one.
I think it's Agatha. I think it's the other one.
Agatha's the one dying.
Yeah, Agatha's the one who died last episode, and she starts coughing up dirt. And she's dying. And I think it's really obvious to us what this is. It's no, because there's supposed to be a death either from one of them, and because none of them are technically dead, it's backfiring, right? So it's pretty simple, right? I think we all kind of get that quite quickly. And so Blackwood finding out, Zelda basically having to beg to let her take care of it so that Blackwood doesn't have to. She's trying to, save the family's reputation, and because because after everything this season, the Spellmans in terms of the Coven's perception are down in the gutter, and Zelda goes because Zelda's been softening a little bit with Sabrina over the last few episodes, I think.
Yeah.
But she completely hard resets when Sabrina comes home, and Sabrina kind of confronts her, and even Hilda steps in and tells Sabrina to shut up and don't speak to Zelda like that. And it's like, okay, she's confronting every single person who's supposed to help her, or who she's supposed to trust and confide in, and she ends up going to Wardell, who does help her go to the limbo, and so on top of everything else, she actually finds Tommy's soul, and you think, okay, is this going to be the easy get out of jail free card? Is she going to solve this and get away with it again, even though it's looked quite bad up until this point?
Yeah.
And a Soul Eater eats him as she's running outside the portal with them, to the point where it's almost a magical version of a Jurassic Park scene where she's got the arm, she's holding the hand, and the arm is just kind of like on its own, and then it fades away into magic.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was actually really dark. She found the real Tommy. He recognized her. He was relieved to see her, and then he got eaten by a Soul Eater. Also, I think it's funny that her mother apparently survived in limbo all these years. He was there like a day, and a Soul Eater came and got him.
Yeah. I have to, Sabrina, every so often, she says something that amazes me with how stupid she is.
Oh, God.
When she asks Wardwell, what's a Soul Eater? And Wardwell goes, I think you know the answer to that one. Yeah, I think you do. Clues in the bloody name.
Yes. Now, if you just rephrase the question a little bit, what are Soul Eaters in the sense of why do they exist? What was the point of them?
Sure.
But
that didn't feel like what she was asking, did it?
It's like, what's a Soul Eater? Well, because she says, oh, what's happened to him now then if he's been eaten by a Soul Eater? It's like, we can't get him now. He's gone, right? The Soul Eater's got him.
Yeah,
He's consumed. He's digested. He's nothing. He's been pooped out.
exactly. You kind of get the gist from the name. I think that's why they call them soul eaters.
Um, do you know what, I'll clock that one up to her being in shock because she's had, like I say, the Jurassic Park moment with the arm. She's like,
Fine, I'll let it slide.
she's in shock, and then she has to go tell Harvey, and I like that Harvey kind of gets the deja vu, and he's like, "You've told me this before." And that just adds more to it. It's like, no, you told me this, and you put a spell on me to forget.
Yeah.
And it just, everything about it. The episode ends with her going to Zelda and just falling down in her arms and starts and just just sobs, and then the episode ends. It's like, and there's that moment I went, well, Connor, what consequences?
I do, yeah. I really like the ending of this episode.
Yeah, that is great. That is fantastic. Even everything else, I like the Prudence and her sister coming to kill Tommy themselves. And I don't really like Nathaniel that much, but I did like the whole nail through the feet thing.
Yeah.
To stop them
print.
moving.
Yeah.
Well, that was a nice little gruesome touch.
Yeah.
It was nice.
No, I really like the end. I found myself kind of checked out a few times throughout the episode, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what it is. You know how the last few I've been going. I'm feeling a bit of a mid-season kind of slump, right? And I was like, going, oh, I'm sure it'll bounce back. And then I realized, like halfway through this episode, that this is the second to last episode.
It is indeed. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it in any way. I don't feel like it's been building up to, oh, we're going into the last episode.
Maybe in terms of plot, I feel like in terms of emotional, in terms of Sabrina like finally getting consequences.
That I don't think comes right till the end of this episode. At the very end of this episode, I agree that that's there, but for almost all of the rest of this episode, it feels like it doesn't feel like that's there. It feels like it feels like just another one where, okay, I'll find a way out of it, like we've done all season.
Oh, I know. I disagree with this actually. I actually really disagree with this because to me I felt like she was trying miserably, and I could already tell that it was kind of pointless. That because there was already this feeling like she's still going to try, obviously, but she's probably in too deep at this point. She's probably in over her head, and this is finally going to be a time that it's not working. And I think the fact that each one by one her family members kind of turn against her in this episode, and her being sort of determined, no, I'm going to do this, and she even goes to Wardell, who's kind of this weird extra person that she shouldn't be trusting, but she does. To me, this one felt like no, everything was kind of closing in on her, which did give it that kind of penultimate.
Okay, I wasn't really feeling that.
This may actually be my favorite episode yet. Actually,
really?
Yeah, I think I really dug this one. And even some things I had problems with before, I think kind of have neatly been fixed.
I think we may be about to have a major disagreement.
Well, I don't love it still, but the whole Susie thing bothers me much less now that it's implied that Wardell's actually doing it and it's not real.
It was still groan-inducing. The scenes where she's there talking to the air, and then her father's like,
"Oh,
who
sure."
I'm like, oh, I don't want to see this.
But I don't mind it as much though, because it's not like she's not really speaking to her her dead ancestor. This is manipulation, and perhaps even Rosie's visions are in some way, because Roz has a vision as well. Because the thing in this one. And it kind of clocked to me that this might be Wardell even before the scene at the end where Wardell's in the bookshop listening to them.
Yeah.
It was when it became apparent that both of them at the same time were finding out that Sabrina in some way was a witch, because Roz has she goes to help Sabrina by touching Tommy to get into the limbo and seeing him, right? Have a vision, and and when Sabrina grabs her and says, "Hey Roz, are you okay?" She turns around and it's like the pure ugly decrepit witch with a noose around her neck.
Yeah.
And then in the same time, more or less, Susie is told by her dead grandmother that
it's
the Spellmans are
worth
witches.
knowing early on. I want to say episode 3, when we first found out about Roz's blindness. There was a bit at the end of the episode where Wardwell does something and her eyes go properly black for a moment. When she's in the bathroom.
And she even says at one point, I think if not to Blackwood, at least to her familiar, that she's going to go after her friends. She was specifically going to try and break that down.
I get it. I just the way it still feels a bit clunky to me, in a way of just they need to know and we need to get them involved.
I don't think. I think before it bothered me because it was two random things, and because it was two random things happy at the same time, it felt like really clunky writing. having there be like a key reason that's intentional, like a character actually trying to engage this for a
Yeah.
reason, solves a lot of that for me. I don't necessarily enjoy the actual scenes of her talking to her ghost,
And that's
but
that's a big problem still for me, where I'm spending, a minute watching this, and sure,
it's
it's a
one
minute
scene.
out of an hour,
Yeah, it's only
but
one scene.
ultimately it still it drags the tone and my feeling down quite a lot when I'm sidetracked into that.
I think they couldn't have done any less though. This is as little as they could possibly do and get the point across. So
Yeah,
I can't really be mad because it is literally one scene of like not even 60 seconds. It may even be less than that.
I don't know. I was
Yeah.
ballparking.
No, but what I mean is it's that short. You know, it's just this one very quick scene just to get the information across, like 2 key sentences, just so that the conversation with Roz can happen later on, and they're sitting there going, "Is Sabrina evil? Can we trust her? Like, what's And they're questioning this, and I'm sure, part of the story of season 2 is largely going to be Sabrina like and her friend family coming back together, right? Like they're going to probably start quite fractured because of this weird revelation. If they even all know about the fact that everyone knows by the end of the season, they might not. I don't know if the friends are going to confront her next episode or not. We'll find out. But
I'm assuming so, but I mean, no guarantee.
because I would imagine the arc or the ending of season 2 would be them finally saying, you know what, no, we are friends, we trust her, and it doesn't matter what she is, and we're going to, you know,
It makes sense. Yeah.
that seems like the obvious art to do. It may surprise me. It may happen much quicker. It could even happen by the end of the next episode.
I'll be shocked if it does. I feel like the obvious place to leave it is everyone fractured. The whole
Yeah.
group apart. We've already driven Harvey away now in this episode.
Yeah. Harvey would be the hard one to swallow being over it by the end of the episode next time, I think.
Joe, I will say would almost be a bit of a pacing problem. Is what we're describing here. That should be a mid-season. With that sort of I feel so in the sense that the whole point of the season, if it's been okay, Wilbur wants to split up the friend group so it's easy to get her into the school and get her to go over to that side of things. That feels like the midpoint of the story, and that feels like half a season to me.
I have no problem with the ending on I mean, if the story of the season is Sabrina finally learns she can't just do anything and get away with it, if that's the point of the season and we're going to end in a dark place, I think that's okay. It's interesting you're bringing this up though, because it was originally ordered for 2 seasons, and I wonder if they just wrote a story for 20 episodes, but with a neat enough break, and
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling.
which I think is fine. But we've definitely watched shows before that have an ending that is kind of like that, where it ends in a bad place.
Oh, we have. I just feel like, I think it is a case of, okay, it's 10 episodes, and that feels like such a, okay, that is one story, the fall and then the coming back together in the second season. That feels like such a single story that it feels weird almost to me that that's 2 seasons.
I don't know.
This could just be me.
Yeah,
I'm willing to admit that one.
I don't think I have that. I mean, okay, so the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right?
Oh, for God's sake, what have I done?
Season 4 is kind of, it's not as extreme as this, right? But season 4 of that show is very much them kind of drifting apart, because it's after high school, they're all in college, or well, some of them are. Xander doesn't go to college. Don't be ridiculous. And they all kind of like grow apart a little bit over the season. Now, technically, there's a scene in the last couple of episodes where they kind of realize they've done this and they kind of bond again. But a part of the point is that season 5 would be when everyone comes back together again, right? Now, it's not as overt as this. It's not as like straight up the main plot point. It's just kind of a thematic thing that's going on.
Yeah, I think that bothers me less after 4 seasons of we had 3 seasons of them together and then they grew apart. This is from the start of the show and then immediately, right, okay, we barely got them together as a group to I didn't care about them before.
What you're saying is not that Buffy season 4 ended this way, but what you're saying is that doing that as the end of season, like sort of dramatic place to leave it, is more effective if you've actually spent several seasons where we cared about them as a unit before they actually split up.
Yeah.
Alternatively, you could be like Arrow and you could split them up at the end of every season.
Good. It's almost fun finding the new ways to do it, right?
Every season, some new way. It's quite
true.
baffling. Yeah. I don't have a problem with this so much. I mean, it is kind of like the halfway point in an
Yeah.
overall bigger story. But I don't necessarily mind that as much. It's kind of like sometimes like you have shows where you can look at them and go like, okay, it's like an 8 season show, but
Yeah.
clearly 1 to 3 is kind of its own little trilogy, and then 46 is its own little trilogy and so forth. You get these little sort of segmentations that come from this, and to me, that just kind of feels like no, like 1 and 2 are closely linked and kind of because I feel this is really common actually with 1s and 2s especially. There's a lot of shows where I feel like season 3s were like, okay, we're starting fresh this year because see, we left so much open in season 1 that season 2 was a lot about finally paying off everything we'd set up.
No, fair enough.
In season 2, and I think the reason for that is because with season 1s, especially on network TV, I'm talking about here more than anything, is they're not sure if they're going to last, right? So they just kind of dabble with some concepts in season 1, and then they get to the real story. I mean, again, looking at Buffy, season 1, okay, you've got a simple big bad for the season, and you set up the Buffy's a Slayer and so on and so on. But the real story of that early stuff is the story of like Angel and her relationship with Angel and that stuff, and that's season 2. It's like, okay, now we've got a full second season. We're going to give this the meat now, the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, I think maybe this is part of my perception in that sense that I agree with everything you said there, and I'm kind of used to that on a network show with 20 odd episodes, right? Whereas when I'm getting 10 episodes, I'm not as used to feeling that.
But what's funnier though is that it does feel tighter still because it's only 10 episodes.
It does, but at the same time, I feel like I'm a little unfulfilled. We're not at the end yet. We've got one more. But I feel like I'm not going to be entirely satisfied by that. I got enough out of the season, even though it feels tighter.
I mean, it depends how you define what's satisfying, though, I think. Because if you've enjoyed the whole season, and you've been a bit more murky on it than I have, I've been mostly into it. If you've enjoyed all of it, and I think the pacing's been very good, I think most of the individual episodes have been worked well as individual episodes. Sure, it might feel like it's just cut off, and that'll be annoying. It'll be annoying watching season 1 right now the first time it's went up. Once season 2 is launched, and then from then on in the future, everyone who watches it can just go straight on to season 2.
Yeah,
won't mean a difference.
But like I said, I agree the episode pacing itself, I don't really have a problem with. Maybe the odd thing here or there. But as a season, it was halfway through episode 9 where I went, oh, hang on, there's only one more left. Yeah. Like, I felt like I was still in the middle of the season. I didn't feel like I was at the end yet.
I think for me, I did feel like I was getting towards the end because of it felt like it was building up to Sabrina finally being hit with this realization, which has kind of been our thing, we've been building up to all season.
That's fair.
I would agree though that it does feel like they built a 20 episode story that they've got a big mid season cliffhanger. I'm assuming that they're going to hit us with next episode, and that's cool. I guess my logic is if they can get away in Breaking Bad season 5 with it, then I'll give them leeway here as well.
We kind of call that bullshit all the time, right? When they do these A and B seasons.
Oh sure, yeah, but at least this is 2 10-episode seasons as opposed to
2 8 episodes. I mean,
or even less. Like, I mean, they started because I think Voltron on Netflix, like season 3 and 4 was originally just season 3, and they literally just split it in 2.
Yeah, no, that is worse. At least they knew going into this that it was 1 and 2, right? Rather than just we'll just cut it in the middle.
Yeah, I think they had a 20-episode story. I think they, it wouldn't surprise me if they originally had intended it for a 22-episode network season, and then once they realized this isn't going to work in CW and they reworked it for Netflix, so okay, we've got our general story here. Well, let's split it in 2, and this is season 1.
Maybe that's why they ordered it straight to 2 seasons, because they came to them with we've got a 22-episode plan.
Yeah, they probably just said, you know what, tighten it up and put it out as 2.
We'll give you 20 as 2 seasons. Yeah,
I could totally see that, which is nice because it means you get the full story that they planned, and
it does. Yeah,
if you get more after that, then cool. But
no, I can't dispute that. I just feel like maybe the flow hasn't been quite there overall as a season overall. I haven't felt like it's I don't feel like it's ebbed and flowed correctly, I guess.
I would say, like, I think it's this weird mixture between a network and a cable show, or a network and a streaming show, maybe.
It is,
where I feel like it has a lot more quality in its production than a network show typically does. It looks really nice. Obviously, it can get darker at times when it wants to, which is great. But and obviously it has these full hour-long episodes, and to its credit, the pacing in those hour-long episodes is actually very good. I don't feel like it's dragging on. I don't
Like I
feel like it's
said,
wasting time.
maybe occasionally, but for the most part, I agree it's very good.
And it doesn't feel like it has. Because it's funny, because obviously network shows tend to be, they're 41, 42 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll feel like they're kind of spinning their wheels a lot more. And in an episode, they'll feel like they're basically dumbing things down, repeating things a lot in the dialogue.
Do you know what it is? I find, especially in network shows, is after every ad break, you spend about 90 seconds kind of just almost doing a recap of what had happened before, just so that, if anyone's just come in after the ads, that they know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's not every network show.
It's sometimes it's not even the first scene after the ads, but they'll just soon after the ads they'll make sure to recap the information often enough. Because I even heard it's not even just about the ads; it's just about if someone's channel hopping and they land on the show. You want to make
sure they stick.
You want to be able to say that every couple of scenes someone reiterates kind of what the main point is right now, what's going on. And this doesn't suffer from that at all.
No,
but it does have this feeling of like the episodes, like each one feels like kind of like, okay, I could see how this could be an episode of a network TV show and what the plot focus is for the episode. But in a way, that's kind of made it work uniquely against a lot of the Netflix shows where I'm like, oh, unlike other Netflix shows, this has really defined episodes where this is very much this one. This is the one where they're all asleep and there's a demon in the house. This is the one where, the resurrection happens. This is the one where the school stuff's introduced. Like they'll have a thing.
They do. I will say that demon, sleep demon, stands as the worst, and it's guilty of going too far into that network episode style territory.
Yeah, maybe that's the one where the concept just fell
didn't
into
translate
the traps.
to the service. Yeah,
it probably could have if they just re-scripted it a few times and
maybe
rethought it out a little bit, because I think the actual core concept is actually fine. It's just whatever they had going. Okay, that was a bit more of an analysis of the show as a whole for the last 10 minutes as opposed to talking about this episode. So no, I really like the consequences. I like how dark this is for Sabrina, that she not only realizes she has to live with the fact that Tommy has to die, she has to tell Harvey about it, which, given the fact that she's lied to him, given the fact that she's telling him that he's a witch hunter, or at least he comes from witch hunters, and then him making the choice to kill him himself and hearing the gunshot and then crying in Zelda's arms. All of this is, no, you messed up and you messed up. And I feel like there's a lesson has been learned here. And
I really hope so.
And that's good. It's good that it feels that way. It's good that it feels like, no. She can't just wave this off next episode. This is traumatizing.
Yes, absolutely. It's my favorite thing in episodes for sure is this ending of just, okay, having to confront the reality and hopefully dealing with that next episode.
Honestly, if I've got a complaint, I feel like, because I really like the ending as well, and I think they've spent enough time in Sabrina and Harvey that I really care about them. I know you don't like Harvey as much, but I care about them. I care about Sabrina's stuff with her aunts. I care about the aunts. I care about Ambrose. I think, bizarrely, we should have spent more time with Susie and Roz in some way. And I know their stuff's maybe not been the best overall from the snippets we've had, but it's also been very limited. Like I feel like at the start of the show we were expecting a lot more school stuff, and we didn't get it. Yeah,
I couldn't tell you much about either of them as characters beyond just the the surface level.
Because I think I like the scene where they're discussing Sabrina as a witch. I was like, this is kind of exciting, but it'd be more exciting if I really cared about what they thought of Sabrina, and I don't think I do because we've not spent that much time with them.
How much time we actually spent with them and Sabrina, really? Like,
it's usually a couple of scenes per episode, if that.
Yeah.
And there's been maybe one or two where there's not been any because of the she's at the school all episode, for example.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could have, bizarrely, I could have done with some more of them.
No, I agree. Doing more of them might have made them better, and I wouldn't cut to them and go, oh, it's just this again, because as it is, it feels very just surface level. Here's a bare minimum of what we have to do, right?
I wonder if this is something that'll be fixed when they're in the loop and they can be more a part of what Sabrina's doing.
Maybe.
And they'll just naturally be part of the plot a bit more.
They just don't really feel like characters at the minute, do they?
No, not to a great extent, no. I think the actors are fine enough.
Nothing against any of the actors.
Yeah, they're likable. Although that said, Roz was in Slender Man, so I get a little twitch when I look at her now.
Was the movie that bad?
It's not the worst thing ever. It's just really bad.
Oh, can't wait to hear your Screams review.
I've seen worse, but
When's that going up?
the time of recording, that's going up tomorrow. So probably still. Yeah, I'll probably put this up tonight. So yeah, it'll be tomorrow. Early tomorrow. Slender Man's going up.
There you go. Not long to wait, folks.
Nope. It was rough though.
Which is exactly why you should watch the review, because seeing Peter in pain is the best kind of Peter.
Shut up. So no. Other little bits. Blackwood and Zelda are still.
Shacking up.
I was going to say copulating, but yes, you can go with your. I don't know. More.
Colloquialism.
Sure. I was going to say more 70s era slang.
It was a colloquialism. Get over it.
Well, you're going to tell me that shacking up's not an older phrase?
Of course it is, but still applies. This is a very old-fashioned show.
Oh, sure, yeah. You're going with the themes of the time, yes.
If anything, I'm ahead of the time.
Yeah, Zelda's looking after the choir, but minor plot points for the most part. I suppose the other big thing we should mention is that Ambrose has got a new familiar. He's got a mouse.
He does, yeah. And Blackwood's definitely going to have him do some crazy, shady shit.
Yeah, that feels like it's setting up season 2 stuff more than
it
anything.
does. Yeah.
But he's flat out just having it off with Luke in his office, and then students walk in, and then they just sort of just shrug it off like whatever.
Can we talk about Luke for a second? Because
what about Luke?
he was introduced as just he was the boyfriend of this random witch that died, right? That wasn't part of any coven. They didn't really know anything about him, and he's just like he showed up at the funeral home. He's like, "Hey, you witch?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm a witch." And then and then all of a sudden it's no, he's Blackwood's right hand man, and Blackwood's does whatever he says almost.
Maybe we'll get more on what their relationship is.
It was like 2 episodes ago where Ambrose was like, "Oh, Luke's in close with Blackwood. He'll get me out of this." And then now it's like they're scheming things together, and I'm like, where's this come from? I feel like I don't understand this relationship. It's kind of an extension of in the first couple of episodes I was really unclear on Wardwell and her role in the coven and where she was. This is kind of like that, but way worse, because I'm like getting to the end of the season and I have no idea what this guy is supposed to be doing. It's really weird.
I imagine we'll get more later. We'll get more down the line.
It just seems to kind of come out of nowhere that he's actually, he's part of the coven and he's with the high priest and all that. And I'm like, wait, what? He felt so random at the start, like he just lived in the town.
I suspect fishiness.
I hope so, because if fishiness would explain a lot and would make me feel a lot better.
Honestly, I think my only problem with it is the way he was introduced versus... I mean, if this was just like his new boyfriend and then he said, "Oh, by the way, he happens to be in good with Blackwood," I'd be like, okay, whatever.
Sure.
But it was the way, he was kind of randomly like it was like a cute meet or a meet cute rather.
Yeah,
like,
it was a
like,
chance encounter.
Yeah, one of those TV coincidences we love to hate. Yeah,
which is fine. Like on its own, it was a little cheesy, whatever, but it's fine on its own. But then in conjunction with where we are now, it kind of feels weird.
Yeah, that's fair. But we got that. I think that was it. It was a very focused episode. Everything. Obviously, Wardell's like, "Oh yes, they're finally going to break Sabrina." Harvey's going to disown her, and her friends are going to hate her and fear her. Like, she's like, "Oh, I've succeeded in my efforts." So,
and she probably has temporarily
for a while, yeah, until true love heals all.
Yes, until season 2.
And it breaks her spell, and all of her manipulation goes down the toilet.
Yes, exactly.
And they stand true and tall together. Maybe even Prudence will help. I don't know. She's the uneasy ally.
Prudence is the best. Let's be honest.
Actually, that's actually makes me something I was thinking about actually. So Agatha's like coughing up dirt, and everyone's talking about how she's dying. We have to fix this, and all I could and my first thought was like, no, but she actually did kill Tommy and all the miners. Like, if anyone, she should be the one who dies.
Sabrina did mention that. She's like, well, it was pretty fair. I'm not undoing natural causes. They killed him.
Yeah, Yeah,
And everyone's just like, yeah, stupid mortals.
yeah, I do have to say that was because I think that in that scene with Sabrina and she's yelling at Zelda and she's mostly in the wrong, but the one thing that I absolutely am on her side with is like, no, Agatha did kill a bunch of mortals, so if she
There
dies, so
should
Tommy
be
can come
some sort
back.
of repercussions for that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, I mean, I know Prudence was mad at her for a bit, but she's probably going to be she's probably going to feel just sorry for her now because she's been almost dying with the dirt thing. So
Yeah, and the aunts don't really seem to care.
yeah,
They're like, it's sad that he's dead, but he's dead. Let's just move on.
yeah. I hope there's some comeuppance of some kind. Like I don't know, maybe she gets put in like a padded cell or something at the school for like the next season. Or maybe they'll take her familiar and shoot it in the head. I don't know.
Well, that got dark.
It's a goblin. It's not a real thing.
I mean, still,
Like,
why would you punish the why punish the goblin for something that she did?
because
That's like saying you stole something from a shop, so I should shoot Firefly.
shut up. That's not.
That's the same analogy.
No. Because we're talking about witches, and we've seen very repeatedly that their logic and the way their system works is a lot more cruel. They have a ceremony once a year where they eat one of themselves. So don't give me this. We should be obeying witch rules nonsense.
I'm not saying we should. I'm saying that they should not do that either.
Okay. So yeah, I hope that maybe gets addressed in some way. It feels like everyone but Sabrina's just kind of forgotten about it.
It does, doesn't it?
And especially since like if Sabrina, because I don't think she ever actually she didn't tell Harvey that Sabrina witches caused the cave in,
No.
right? She never mentioned that. So if that ever comes up, like Harvey's going to want blood. Like his pacifism's going out the
Rightfully
window.
so. Let's be honest.
Yeah, rightfully so. Like I wouldn't blame him.
I kind of hope he goes, "Oh, I want revenge," and Sabrina's just like, "That's fine. I already slit a throat."
just nonchalant. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I slit a throat at Harvey. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let's go watch a movie.
I guess all the other witches are kind of going, no, she got her punishment by she was killed and she was dead for 10 minutes, whatever it was. The shock and the threat and all of the act of that all was her punishment. Which for witches, yeah, that's good enough. You kill a couple of mortals, yeah, sure. Spend 10 minutes dead. That'll do the trick. Price paid.
I guess she's been in absolute hell with this sickness for the last couple of days. I mean, she's getting something at least, but it's not.
Yeah, it was a blood because a living cadaver.
Yeah, it's a living cadaver. All right, well, but to end on a positive though, I actually did like this episode a lot. I thought all the ending stuff, Sabrina like sort of slowly realizing and being hit with oh no, I actually done goofed. I almost wanted the Job from Arrested Development being I've made a huge mistake, just kind of coming up on the screen.
Yeah. I do really like the end of this episode.
Yeah. So no. So looking forward to the finale, which we'll have in the day after tomorrow. So look forward to that. But that is episode 9. Let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe. All that stuff gets on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailedfuzztv, and you can do that over there for as little as $1 per month. But otherwise, that's us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?